know the light. Let's get it. Light the one.
Have you ever noticed or thought of something strange and you just want to share it with the world? So, 100 years ago, bells were everywhere, right? Church bells, town bells, factory bells, you name it. And people heard them constantly, literally all the time. But in today's world, most of them are silent or they're completely gone. And now, according to this one theory, there might be a reason that they might have now, according to old records, these are versions of this belief that appeared all over the world. Different cultures, different languages, different religions, you name it, but yet somehow they all arrived at the same conclusion. And that was that certain sounds affected things that we humans can't see with our own eyes. But here's where the story gets a little bit more strange. Now, some researchers and conspiracy theorists began asking a question, and that is, if bells were so important, why did society stop eventually using them? Now, not completely, but enough that most people rarely hear them anymore. I remember when I was little in the 90s, I would hear them, but as I got older, they started to fade away more and more. Well, then a theory started spreading a little bit more online, and this theory involving something much more darker. Now, according to the claim, there are beings living among us that aren't entirely human, entities capable of appearing human through some kind of projection disguise, like a camouflage, a mask, or like a hologram, basically. And supposedly certain frequencies interfere with their hologram. And the theory claims that large bronze bells produce powerful resonant tones that disrupted whatever was creating the illusion. Now, not enough to expose them permanently, but just enough for a brief moment, like a flicker of a shift, or like a glimpse of something underneath whatever they were hiding. And people claim that during the ringing of certain bells, witnesses would report seeing faces distort for a split second, and eyes were appearing wrong, skin color was changing, features were becoming something entirely else out of this world, and then immediately it would snap back. Now, there's absolutely no evidence that this ever happened, but here's what makes this theory a little bit more interesting to me. The people spreading it point to the fact that ancient civilizations seemed obsessed with resonance. Massive bells, gongs, sound chambers, acoustic temples, you name it, they all had it. Structures were designed specifically around certain vibrations, and almost as if they believed that sound could affect reality within itself. And modern science does agree on one thing: sound is far more powerful than most people even realize. Specific frequencies can alter moods, heart rate, stress levels, brain activity. There's studies that have been done that it's actually healed cancer. And if we want to take it a little step further, it's very possible that the Great Pyramids were built using a sort of sound vibration technology. So the conspiracy will ask, if someone or if sound can affect the human body and even build giant structures, what else can it affect? And then comes the question that really keeps this theory alive. If bells were only primitive tools for, telling time, why were so many cultures convinced that, they possessed spiritual power? Why bless them? Why build enormous towers around them? Why treat them as sacred objects instead of a simple instrument? And why do so many old legends describe bells as protection against things that weren't supposed to exist in our world? And again, there's no proof of reptilians or any of this. There's no proof of, a holographic disguise. There's no proof that bells ever exposed anything. But the next time that you pass an old church, look up at the bell tower because for thousands of years, people believed that, that sound protected them from something. And whether that something was evil spirits or hidden entities or simply just fear itself, one question will always remain. What exactly were they so afraid would happen if the bells ever stopped ringing?
So details about Peter Thiel's secret society has been revealed. So the Dialogue Society is a private, invitation-only network co-founded in 2006 by Palantir chairman Thiel. And they hold secret meetings all over the world that are completely off the record, where they obviously talk about technology and finance and how to control our world and building cults, everything. How to control society, just normal everyday stuff. A meeting of the puppeteers of our society. But a directory in the website's code was revealed by a Swiss hacker. The next retreat that they're going to have is actually in Dublin, Ireland, and it's going to have people from all over politics, tech, celebrities, multiple people from the Trump administration, NATO's top U.S. commander. But, some of the very normal things to talk about during the conference that's happening this year is navigating World War III, battlefield technology, money, does it buy happiness, bring back nuclear, build a cult, which is probably the best one that's going to happen this year in my eyes. Because, of course, you want all kinds of new information on how to build cults in today's age. And that last one is actually going to be moderated by the founder of the Christian networking site Pray.com. But you should get online and look at the members that were exposed in this not-so-secret society now.
So the theory is that is a logo for the company that runs the simulation. We don't know why. We just obsessively draw it, and we don't know why we all draw it, and no one.
We fall in love with the people we see on television every day, and then it was set up that 20 years later that we're being told that they sexually abuse children. So that's been done very calculatedly, especially over the 20th century, with the inversion. The inversion of the original Baphomet, the original Baphomet, the core of Christ's teachings were about compassion and caring about other people, and not about.
I consider myself a conspiracy theorist, and if you like a good conspiracy theory and going down a rabbit hole and investigating, one that you need to go down that will flip your world upside down.
We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. Those in power view it as a military and security threat. That upset me. You mean to tell me that the people in power have the ability to save and better the planet, and they aren't doing it?
They just confirmed aliens are from our oceans, and they have proof of it. In the Oversight Committee hearing that was broadcasted worldwide, 4 witnesses, including a retired Navy commander, confirmed to Congress that non-human higher intelligence exists and we're in possession of their technology. They said we have UAP material and bioorganic material, and so does every other country, and behind closed doors, they're all in a race trying to reverse engineer the technology that they have. They said they have video evidence of them appearing from the oceans all across the world, and they've been here much longer than us. We've seen the UAPs move and react so quickly, and based on their technology, they believe they're being controlled by a mind-body connection. It said that some of these beings appear to be interdimensional, and that a human can withstand up to 9 Gs of force before suffering fatal consequences, but the technology they're working on is producing upwards of 3,000 Gs. That this is only the tip of the iceberg compared to what the government is not telling us, but let me know what you guys think about all of this, and I'll keep you guys updated.
You and me, you know what we gotta do? We gotta talk, because allegedly, we've had our first communication with the Anunnaki this weekend. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, after the alleged meteorite fell to the ground, a message from the Anunnaki allegedly came through in Alabama, and more specifically Georgia, during a national television broadcast. In this alleged message that lasted for up to 3 minutes, the Anunnaki message claimed to say that they knew about the galactic war that was going on above us in space. They knew about the wars here on Earth. They also knew about the meteorite that fell to the ground, which it wasn't a meteorite. They also claimed that a lot more weird and bizarre and unexpected weather conditions and anomalies would be taking place in the coming months. In this message, the Anunnaki did claim to say that they are here to help. They are not here for any other thing, but they are here to help mankind. Now, have you heard this? And are you perhaps someone who actually saw this message? Now, I have received videos and stories and messages from people claiming all of these things, but I specifically want to know if you've heard about this. Do you know about this, or did you see this? Because after I went down the rabbit hole, a lot of the things are adding up. But I want to hear from all of you, because after the meteorite fell, this message has now come across our screens. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what you know about this and if you've seen it or you know someone who has. And remember, anything we talk about is for learning, information, and entertainment purposes only, because it's up to you to believe what you want to believe. It's not up to anyone else.
So please tell me y'all heard about this. So apparently the United States and Israel both have been in contact with aliens. And not just like the United States, like the elite of the elite. No, the president of the United States knows, and he has been in communication with them, as well as Benjamin Netanyahu. They have been speaking to them for years now, and they're calling them the Galactic Federation. But the story is that they don't want to reveal themselves yet because they feel like humanity is not ready for them to reveal themselves yet. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you who have eyes to see and ears to hear know the writing on the wall. That these things that they are communicating with are not aliens. They are demons, which is my 100th time saying that. They are the fallen angels. They are, some of them, Nephilim. They are here to deceive and appear as these aliens that everyone speaks of and everyone makes movies about. The only reason why they're not ready is not because humans aren't ready, it's because it's not their appointed time. So when people think that the presidents and all these people don't know what's really going on, they have to play a role and pretend like they have no idea as to what's going on. They know what's going on. I know y'all remember that report about the Anunnaki about to reveal themselves soon. Like, now it's coming from the Pentagon. So all I'm saying is brace yourself for some news that is probably going to come out really soon that you're going to be like, ain't no way.
The Seam is now the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a 16,000-kilometer underwater mountain range. And today's earthquake was right on top of it, not linear. You go up one number, you release around 32 times more energy. So a 7.6 isn't slightly bigger than today's quake.
If the prediction that Brazilian psychic made about what's going to happen on June 24th in Miami at the World Cup is true, then they ain't playing fair. The psychic from Brazil, when people are disclosed about aliens, about interdimensional beings, about UAPs, about UFOs.
Something is definitely weird happening with our planet right now.
That's why USWR, the United States Water Reserve, will be a multi-billion-dollar asset once Trump...
This right here is exactly what Jeff Bezos was just talking about, the United States Water Reserve, and absolutely no one's telling you this right now.
I don't think you can expect to get any proof from her, but this is going viral, as you can imagine. And that's interesting because, for some reason, aliens are suddenly becoming more relevant once again.
What does this do to the fundamental beliefs that many of us have? And, is God our God only on this planet? Or is God a God for every system where there's civilization, intelligent life, and even developing life?
It says that the Antichrist will confirm one. And we may be seeing pieces of that right now. He shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. That Hebrew word behind confirm means to strengthen, enforce, or ratify, not invent from scratch.
It is a brief word concerning a specific group of people that are called the 144,000. Now, just as I was preparing the camera and getting ready to start,
it's a massive migration of consciousness, like herding millions of ants into a new path at the same time. They're trying to harvest attention, fear, and compliance as fast as possible. Sovereignty, self-mastery, and living proof that the program no longer works on you.
Mobile phones, traffic lights, cash, basic jobs, wired chargers, credit cards, keys.
The ones that, because I believe the ones that are going to be left here are going to be the ones to build the new paradigm. And the new paradigm is going to be built with an understanding and an acceptance of each other, where
you have 3-4 years, maybe 5 max, to get rich. If you don't get rich by the year 2029.
Hey, what another amazing video.
We didn't have color TV. I don't think we had TV at all yet, but somehow, some way, in the time of radio, they were able to do video transmitters from one room to another long distance in 1929.